Setting up.
Yes, it is done.
It's done. We are live.
Yes.
Yes. So yes, hello everyone. Hi Najma. Let's get
Yes. Hi.
started with today's live.
Yes. Hello, everyone. And I am Najma Sharif from Bangalore. I am a mindset transformation and career growth coach. I help professionals communicate with clarity and confidence, especially in high stake conversation. Today, we are breaking down something very practical, 5 communication shifts that instantly make you sound like a leader. Okay, so have you ever finished speaking in a meeting and immediately thought, oh, that didn't land the way I wanted? Maybe you had a great idea, but you over explained it. Or you started strong and then kind of lost your point midway. Or worse, you said something very valuable and no one reacted. Not because your idea wasn't good, because of how you said it. So here's the truth. In today's workplace, people don't judge your ideas, they judge your authority through your communication. And the authority doesn't come from speaking more, it comes from speaking better. So today, let us dive through the small, powerful changes that you can apply in your very next meeting. Yes, it is
Yeah.
not because that you are learning more, it's because you are just changing and implementing one pattern. So let's start with a quick question for you all. So when do you think of someone who sounded like a leader and what do they do differently when they speak? So let us answer this question. Over to you, Jyoti. And thank you for being part of this wonderful conversation today.
Thank you so much, Najma, for getting this started. And yes, hello everyone. So my name is Jyoti Pandey. Basically, I am from Pune, Maharashtra, and I am a career growth specialist, just like Najma. And we both work in collaboration with each other to help professionals grow in their career to get the ideal job that they always have deserved. But somewhere they got occupied somewhere or the other, or maybe you can say caught in the wrong job. So what we have analyzed is most senior professionals don't struggle with competence, they struggle with how they are perceived when they are when they are speaking in a forum, in a board meeting, or in any cabin whatsoever. And the most scary part, you don't even realize you are losing authority in real time. So have any one of you, if you have got into that situation that you said something valuable but it got ignored, think about it. This is the moment of introspection. So today what we are doing is we are going into 5 shifts that can help you grow instantly. Immediately you can implement all these shifts, and then you can create your visibility, you can create your positioning. So let's get straight into it. First is shift number 1: speak to lead, not to be liked. Speak to lead, not to be liked. So most professionals always think of what will people think, what will my subordinates, my superiors, what are they thinking about this particular situation. And that is something we can say handicap from sharing their full in or whatever they are thinking of. So that is really important. When we are speaking to lead, not to be liked, because the leaders, maybe they are not liked by everyone. We need to understand the fact that being a leader, you are not in the business of selling ice cream. If people are liking, each one of people around you are liking it, that means you are going terribly wrong somewhere. People have to not like you when when you share your ideas, when you share whatever the raw thought process that you just got into. So yes, Najma.
Yes, very well said, Jyoti. Thank you so much. So, speaking like a leader, definitely I would like to highlight that what do you think makes someone sound like a leader? Has someone should speak loud enough to be authoritative, or they should speak very fluently to be impactful, or they should give long answers to sound smart? That is not the scenario. However, you should uh, authority comes from clarity, conviction, structure, and restraint. So, how do you present your idea that matters a lot. Instead of speaking very lengthy, circling around various other topics rather than the making the point very effective in the first few minutes. So that is how you speak like a leader. You have to structure, plan, and then talk. You need not be loud, you need not be give very lengthy answers, and definitely fluency helps, but to certain extent. So I would like to highlight one question: that what do you struggle with most? Is it clarity, confidence, or structure, or the nerves? Do you become nervous when speaking? Yes.
So basically, a lot of leaders, when they start talking in any forum, they start with, they don't want to be in the limelight, as in their name can be in the MOM. And that is the reason they start with, I think, maybe, this can be done. All those qualifiers that restrict yourself to being a decisive leader. That sounds very weak, and that sounds very not very impactful. So what can you do is, instead of using I think, maybe, you know what, all these qualifiers, you can remove this and say authoritatively what is your point. According to the past data, or according to my perception, according to the study that I have done, according to the research, after talking to a lot of people across the organization or across the department, this is what brings to the table. So if you can just tweak that same statement with a little bit of authoritative, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. So we call it as from rambling to structured thinking. So the problem here is people think while they are talking. Instead, if you want to be a leader or you are in a higher authoritative position, you have to always structure your talks before you even speak. So simple framework is make a pointers, reason it, and then share it with an example. Instead of saying that, yeah, so I think maybe we could, instead you can say, I recommend, or you can say, here's why this works. And over a period of time, this has been established. Something very authoritative, initial few phrases. So that sentence itself will show you that
Mhm.
how you have structured your statements to the audience, or you
Correct.
are very well understood how you have to present your idea. So the crisp messaging is
Mhm.
what is needed.
Yes. And also, now, so the first shift was speak to lead, not to be lied. Now, moving on to the second shift, which is you have to be very emotional when you are talking to a team, because considering the fact that we all are humans and we are driven by emotion, so we always have to understand emotional control is equal to executive presence. How are you connected with the people you are talking to, or you are talking about, or in the situation, are you emotionally involved? Because emotion is a reaction and leadership is a response. If you are not emotionally connected with that decision or that particular situation, you will not come up as a leader. You will come up maybe as a consoler, maybe as a team member, or someone who do not have an authority. So I am just making a pointers of all these in the chat box. If any one of you would like to go through it, definitely feel free to go through it. Yes, Praveen, thank you so much for engaging with this. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box. Yes, Najma.
Yes, very well told, Jyoti. If emotions are not there in our conversation, then it is no point that we are talking. It sounds so robotic. What is the message that you want to deliver? Instead of over explaining it, or going around in circles, you have to have the crisp messaging. You have
Mm,
to try proving your intelligence uh, by making it very short and crisp. Say less, however, say it very clearly. So this is the number one breath rule, that max 2 to 3 sentences, and instead of over explaining for 10 to 15 minutes, at least cover your entire conversation or idea or thoughts in just 2 3 minutes, so that
yes.
people understand and relate to it, and also connect with your idea. if you are giving an update, instead of saying, no, we started on this last week and then we moved forward, instead of saying that we have already completed 80% of it and only the struggle what we see is this, and we will ensure that it does gets over by this week. So it is more clear and crisp messaging what you are
Mhm.
giving. Instead of saying, yes, there are few things to consider. Actually, we are going through that. Instead,
Mhm.
say that the key factor is so and so. So
Yeah.
your delivery of the message should be so crisp and clear, and also emotional. Emotions should be attached to it, because you are not just presenting data or not, giving some statistics. You are having a conversation with another human being. So
Mhm.
people are emotional, and they connect with your emotions as well. So
Mhm.
how do you speak is very, very relevant in every scenarios, be it professional or be it personal conversations.
Yes, I'll share you an example, Najma. So we were in one of the review meetings with our HOD in one of the organizations, and all of a sudden there were certain do's and don'ts that all the leaders have to follow. And a senior manager in that particular forum got defensive and something triggered and he just voiced it out. So one thing that we have to understand is one emotional response, and leadership stop trusting the judgment of this particular person. It is really important that even if certain thought process is going on, there is a forum when you need to talk, and there is a forum when you need to process the information that has been given to you, and then after only processing the information you can share your point of view, and not before that. So immediately the information is given and you are just reacting to it. So instead of reacting, we have to process the information in this machine, which is called your brain, and then give a response instead of a reaction. That is really
Mm.
important, and that's what triggers your authority, and that's what make you a person who can be trusted. Otherwise, if you will get triggered by every single moment, then you are not a leadership material. We need to really understand.
Yes, yes. Definitely, I could resonate with this. So it is just a feedback. Appreciate that feedback and see to that you are implementing the necessary changes. If people do not give feedback, how else you grow? How will we know where we are going wrong, or what is the one tweak that we need to make in presenting our conversations to people? So you have
Mhm.
to appreciate people giving feedback, and you have to receive it, very, very professionally,
Correct.
because at that leadership level, definitely you get offensive, you tend to react. Oh my god, who is he to tell me? So such thoughts occur. However, when you want to grow, you have to open to feedback in such
Yes.
scenarios.
It's really important. So the first shift was speak to lead, not to be liked. We all talk so that we are accepted in the particular forum and everyone is liking it, everyone is appreciating it. That is not the job of a leader. The leader is show them the way how to do it. And then people start admiring you, people start appreciating you. Shift number two, we talked about emotional control is equal to your executive presence. If you can process the information and then respond to that information, that makes a lot of sense even to your subordinates, that oh my god, it was so negative, maybe it was not very pleasant, maybe it was demeaning in that particular forum, but this leader, my leader, processed that information and then gave it back in a very nice way. So you have to attach those emotion and you have to process the information. That is really important. Now moving on to our third point, which is speak less but with weight. So I'll give you an instance. There was a leader in our one of the organization. Now, when this particular leader, so there is a group of 15 to 20 who all are sitting, and everyone, each was, so there are people who just want to make their presence felt. That is their only job. They want to make their presence felt, and they will just give a one liner or two liner, and this is what I think, and then they will get over with it. Now, everyone in the forum talks. People are just, tolerating that particular conversation. And then there is this particular leader. People are waiting because everyone knows this person will talk towards the end. And no one used to leave that meeting room till the time this person has not spoken. And this is such a beautiful moment wherein what he is doing is he is listening to all the perspectives, whatever people are perceiving, whatever are the thought process, then processing that information. And then after listening to all these, this is what I observed, or this is what my takeaway is. This is something that we should be implementing, or something or the other. But taking all the information, processing it, and then just giving it in bits, not in paragraphs. If you talk less, you are creating your credibility, you're building your authority. Yes, Najma, you want to add something?
Yes, yes. So, how you add the weight to your conversation? Firstly, people are fear of being wrong. So, if they present the data, they always think that what if people are perceiving me in a bad light? And they wanted to sound polite as well, and not
Mhm.
wanting to offend anyone. And imposter syndrome in meeting, they are trying to be someone else rather than being themselves. So, this is how our language actually protect ourselves. So instead of weakening your message, put it in a straightforward way that no matter these are the facts. No matter if someone get offended, also the fact remains the same. It doesn't
Mhm.
change. So, however, what you need to have when you want to put the weight in your conversation is clarity of thoughts, then ownership and confidence, and you should be ready to be a leader. So leadership readiness is what we call. So even if you are figuring it out, see, nobody else can figure out that you are scared within or you are less confident. You have to show, even if you are scared inside, you shouldn't show that fear outside. You have to show up with confidence. So people trust people who sound that they are having that decision making power.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, this particular leader who barely spoke, but when he did, everyone listened. Why? Because every statement or every sentence moved the conversation forward towards a different tangent altogether. So be the leader who people would like to listen to. That is really important in today's world. And in order to process that information, what you can do is, there are a lot of leaders we have worked with, the AVPs and VP level, right? They are in this organization from last 11 years, 12 years, 15 years, and they're not getting that recognition, or maybe not getting that visibility, because they are thinking that no one is asking me. No one is asking me for my perspective. No one is asking me. Okay, we don't need to send a pigeon with a letter to you guys to understand that you are holding a leadership position, you are holding a chair, and the first thing, the responsibility of that chair is to give inputs, to share your valuable feedback, or to share what needs to happen in this particular situation. Now, you need to also think about how many meetings did you attend this week without a clear intention. Are you going to the meetings just for the sake of it, or do you have a clear strategy, a structure, that I will listen to this is my perspective? And are you going with that intention, or you are just going because you don't have anything else to do, or maybe you are fed up of the team, they're sitting outside, you want to lock yourself in that meeting room? Or I have had leaders in my life who are just going to the meeting room, just creating the buzz that he's always busy. He's always busy. Out of 8 hours, this particular person used to be in meeting rooms for 6 hours, even if there is no meeting happening. That is also a situation. So we need to understand, why are we attending this meeting? What is the outcome? Because every meeting should have an outcome. If it is a waste of time for you, don't attend that meet. Say that politely. I don't think my contribution is required in this particular forum. But if you are attended with a clear intention. So that's what, speak less but with weight. Yes, Najma, would you
Yes.
like to add something?
So, yes, the similar situation happens everywhere. People can resonate, whoever is listening here. So, the leader the person who is in authority and leadership should speak from confidence, logic, and credibility. He cannot be dominating to others and cannot, take away the productive time because the associates' time is very important that they are the front end workmans, so they have to work more efficiently to get the operations running smoothly. If something happening there, that is the time, whatever they take away in the meetings, they have to compensate by working extra hours. So leaders
Mhm.
should understand that they cannot indulge the associates and other people too much for a lengthy meeting. So that is why we
Mhm.
always suggest that keep your meeting very crisp, very short, and to the point, so that there is the outcome decided well in advance before you present your facts and data, so that you
Correct.
complete the meeting. Even the meeting was 30 minutes, you try to complete it in 15 minutes, so that others should not feel that they are forcefully being seated in the meeting room.
Yes.
That's fine.
That's what used to happen with a lot of team meetings, basically, which is
Mm.
a schedule that you have to do the team meetings every single month. Now, what are you talking about in that particular meet? Do you have a data or a structure to address the concerns? Have you done any, ask the questions, random questions from the team and then collectively trying to give an answer? So that is really important to prepare and go with intention. This was our shift number 3. Now moving forward to shift number 4, which is ask better questions. So as I told you guys, basically there are a lot of leaders. We have been part of organizations, or we have been coaching a lot of senior level executives. When they just go to listen, hear the conversation, and then they come out of the meeting. That 1.5 घंटा बर्बाद हो गया, 1.5 घंटा बर्बाद हो गया. I was caught in the meeting for 1.5 hours or 2 hours or whatever. And every 45 minutes, there is another meeting that has been scheduled. So when you're going to the meeting, it is important to go with intention, but at the same time, there are leaders around. What is that question that is bothering you? Or do you think there is a perspective which people have not thought about it? So we have to get into a habit of asking better question. That will bring a lot of clarity, and that will also bring the introspection amongst other leaders to start thinking on those lines, whether, okay, is that making sense? What is the answer to that question? So at least the people who are coming out of that meeting room will get the food for thought or what they need to do around that chapter. Yes.
Yes, asking better question is very, very essential. People do not know what they actually need. So they just beat around the bush and they don't ask specific question to the point, or maybe they are asking questions which divert the entire conversation to something else, which is
Yes.
again time waster, or we call it as unnecessary talking on other topics. So you have to be very diligent when framing your question, what exactly I need to get the details about. So
Mm-hmm.
even while other people who are answering, so they have to also analyze the question before answering. Answering
Mm-hmm.
immediately without thinking, giving information with no direction, and talking around the point instead of towards an outcome. Then ending the statements without a clear takeaway. So all
Mm-hmm.
these are, highly introspective, where you analyze and then frame your question. So people speak to respond, leaders speak to move things forward. This is the statement to be kept in mind when it comes to speaking. So, how you need to inform, it is to bring clarity, and how you will influence is to shift their thinking, and how you decide is to drive the action. So, this is what it should
Awesome.
be. So, if
Yes.
your
And
listener doesn't know what to think or do next, you are the reactive person. You should give them a direction.
mm-hmm.
Yes.
And to add to this, Najma, there are a lot of times it so happens that we have a client meet, or maybe the client is sitting in a different country altogether. So at that point in time, people hesitate to talk to these clients, maybe because of our upbringing, maybe because there is a notion that this person is very sharp, this person, the client may get impacted, or they may get offended by asking these questions. So one thing that we have to keep in mind, the client sitting at the other end is also a human being. And if there is no clarity, even the person is very much of that understanding that if you are not asking the right question, there is a possibility that you did not understand what is expected out of you. And if what is expected out of you is not delivered on time, in a timely manner, in the way the client wants, then there is a bigger problem. So just to avoid the bigger problem, it is very much imperative to ask as many questions in that client meet. Now, there was a scenario wherein one of the clients didn't have the answer. Maybe he was just the spokesperson, he didn't have the answer. But what he did, he started jotting down the questions and he said that let's schedule a follow-up meet maybe tomorrow or day after, and then I can address all your questions. So there is a possibility he'll reach out to the department head or someone or the other or the core client and then ask those questions, and then we will get the answers. So if we ask those sharp questions, that can get us a lot of clarity, and within months perspective shifts from executor to executive thinker. So you will be perceived that way, that you're asking those smart questions and those questions that is making a lot of sense.
Yes, Jyoti, I remembered one incident. There was this manager, okay, and he was having his ego was through the roof. He would not accept that he is anything less than, one specialty or celebrity. In one of the meeting, what happened? One of the associates or some other manager asked some question he did
Mhm.
not know the answer for, and
Mhm.
he is instead of accepting that he didn't know answer and he will get back maybe
Mhm.
in the next time, or you can come and discuss this with me in my cabin, instead of smartly answering this, he started giving all the false data and everything which was irrelevant things, and that
Mhm.
meeting went on, dragged on for 30 more minutes instead of completing then and there. And he could have accepted, there were two choices with him. He could have at least accepted that he didn't know the relevant information
Context.
to give the yes, to give the reply, or he could have asked that manager, okay, let us not discuss here in the open forum, let us
Mhm.
discuss in private, something like that. Smart way he could have done, but instead he started giving everything negative and dragged this conversation to such a length, and everybody started feeling that frustration, and everybody felt irritated, and they started most of the people started blaming that manager. Why did you bring this up?
Mhm.
So this is also one of the negative aspect of presenting your leadership skills. Acceptance is more needed. That is where you have scope to grow. So if you do
Correct.
not accept, if you
Mhm.
feel that you are 10 on 10, then showcase that credibility every time. Otherwise, think that still you need to grow, still you are
Mhm.
7 or 8, and you have the potential to
Mhm.
improvement.
Mhm.
Yes,
So
that should be there. Yes.
acknowledgement is the first step towards improvisation. First, we have to
Yes.
acknowledge what is wrong with us. It's very much okay that if we are not knowing each and everything, we are not supposed to know each and everything. So it is very much okay. We need to accept it. And that brings us to this particular you already started it. The shift number 5 is stop over explaining. Now, what does that mean? If you are over explaining things, that means people get a notion that you are seeking validation. And validation seeker are the ones who are not confident on the subject that they are talking about. They do not have conviction on their own body language or their own data, whatever they are talking about. So it is really important that we should not be over explaining things, because it is said that if you have to be so simple that you can make a 6 years old understand what is the subject all about. If you're not able to explain it in crisp and precise manner, that means you have not understood yourself enough. Yeah.
Yes, this can happen with two reasons. Why? First, we need to understand why people over explain. One can be that they want to set the context instead
Mm-hmm.
of making points and repeating the same idea in multiple ways and
Trying to be
adding
over smart.
unnecessary. Yes,
Trying
adding
to be
unnecessary.
so.
Yes,
Yeah.
and answering more than what they have asked for, and talking with the past moments. Okay, when we had come. Now the scenario is different. Now with
Mhm.
the inclusion of AI, the people expect faster things to happen, and they say that okay, in my past when I joined, this was not the case, and all those things. So make it your point very clear in the first 10 seconds.
Mhm.
However, you take 60 more minutes to explain those things.
Yes,
And
and you
also,
know what, Najma? There is a very famous steps that people follow. And we all have seen this as well. Someone keeps talking, repeating, justifying, and suddenly you stop listening. So I have observed that in my past organizations as well, wherein this particular so everyone is listening to all the other people. Now they are waiting for this particular person to get started because there is a pattern. This person will explain everyone else's point, and then he will try to put just one point that he wants to put, and then he will try to justify. And that is the particular time when people used to go to loo break, coffee break. Let me just grab a cup of coffee. Let me just go to come fast in washroom, because everyone knows that this person will not make any sense. And that is the reason, that is the ideal time. Out of that 1 hour meet, this 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes is the time when people used to start going and leaving the room and coming back after getting fresh, because this will go a long way. This is really important for us to understand. We should not be over explaining things. Yes.
So why they do is because they fear that they are being misunderstood, or they're justifying their thinking. And one more thing is they lack clarity, thinking while speaking. They have not prepared anything. Without preparation, they have barged into the meeting, and not trusting that simple is enough. Keep it simple, keep it small, keep it short. So the shorter the conversation, people are more intrigued and interested. Oh my God, he explained in such a cool way, such a smart way. And whereas some other people will write paragraphs on that, and they take it to the lens. So over explaining is often a confidence issue disguised as communication problem. So you have to be very crisp when messaging. So what the contrast is, it shows your clear thinking, confidence, respect of time, and also authority. Okay, senior leaders don't use more words, they use better words. So choice, improvise your vocabulary. Definitely you have to improvise while speaking fluently, and pauses. Pauses are very strong. You cannot speak non-stop. You have to give pauses for people to uh, grasp that information, process that details, and then respond to it. And then and there stop and ask whether the conversation is interesting, or should I change it? My pacing, are you able to grasp my pace? Or should I slow down? Or should I speak a little faster? So that is all needed. Overthinking definitely, I mean, over explaining definitely is a big no when it comes to leadership. It all happens that we are trying to explain in a way that we are trying to understand. If I am a slow reader or slow learner, I tend to explain more to my own self. So I think that others also are the same way, whereas some people understand much faster. So I am
Yeah.
justifying my own thinking there.
Yes, and just to highlight here, last to last day, I created a post that people think that they are not getting the stages. It's not like you're not getting the stages. It's just that you think you are not ready enough to go on that stage and and voice your thoughts out. That is really important for you to understand. Being a part of that group, you have every right, you have every authority to contribute with what you think. What do you think? How we can take it forward? And if you can back it up with data, it makes a lot of sense. So
Yes.
just be honest with yourself. Just talk to yourself, introspect, and think, do you tend to over explain? And if the answer is yes, then there is some problem with the confidence, or there is some problem with your conviction in the product that you are trying to explain. So when we talk to people regarding any particular subject, maybe communication, personality development, or public speaking, any particular subject, if we have to explain it, oh my God, why you should join my coaching process, why you should join my coaching process, and I'm giving them a lengthy list, it doesn't make any sense. If the person is not sold out in the first conversation, that means he is, that pain is not enough, right? So you need to understand what are the pain points of this particular discussion, what are the pain points of this particular problem, and then try to go with an intention of problem solver, not with the designation that I am a AVP, I am a VP, I'm a director, so my presence is very much needed. Oh my God, your presence is not needed if you are not adding any value to that conversation. That you need to get the ego out of the room, and then only you can be a leader.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you, Jyoti, for highlighting such wonderful perspective. So, if you are a leadership authoritative position, then you don't need to speak more. You need to speak with intention. And also, you have to address the challenge and seek the probable solution instead of making the conversation very lengthy and speaking in circles. I always tend to say that speak in straight lines from point A to point B, not beating around the bush and speaking in circles where there is no direction and you are not arriving at any conclusion. So after speaking for 1 hour, what is the entire derivation of this conversation? Nothing, zero. Then what is
Mm-hmm.
the point of investing so much time in that?
Mm-hmm.
Very well understood that people now find it very challenging and difficult to make time. So if some person is coming with you for a conversation, make sure you understand the pain areas in the beginning of the conversation itself, and then address the solution that for your problem, we are providing the solution. And these are the steps for that. And if you are interested, let's collaborate and work together towards
Yes.
it. If yes, we will go further. If not, it's not paining enough. So go
Mm-hmm.
around the market, search for better solution. If you don't find, then come back. That's
Yes.
it.
And there are a lot of leaders that we often talk to, 5 years, 7 years, 11 years in the organization, but they think that management is biased, this person is biased, that person is biased. I am not getting the opportunity. But we need to understand one thing, our career doesn't slow down because of lack of effort. Definitely, you're doing everything, whatever is required. That means BAU, business as usual. But it slows down because your communication doesn't signal leadership. If you are a follower, you are just doing what bit is expected of you to do. That means definitely you're a manager and not a leader. And there's a big difference between a manager and a leader. So you are not there to manage stuff. You are there to manage people for sure. But then you are there to let them know how it is done. Like walk the talk, not only talk the talk. That is really important. And the shift is really subtle. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. So start looking, start doing the introspection that what is that one thing that is costing you that particular designation. You're not able to reach that salary or perk, R&R or spot recognition, whatever you want. There is something or the other out of these five things that is costing you this particular uh, whatever you want in your life, right?
Yes. Yes. Very well introspected, Jyoti. Again, I want to circle back to the opening line, which I told that people don't judge your ideas, they judge your authority through your communication. And authority doesn't come from speaking more, it comes from speaking better. So, object schedule it, objective it, entire conversation and present it in a way that people understand it, that yes, you are the leadership person and you speak from the authoritative perspective.
Yes. Yes, when we talk to, even that happens in, there are a lot of leaders who are scared of appearing for an interview. Even appearing for an interview is a rocket science for them because they have so much accustomed or used to working for this particular organization that now even the organization have taken you for granted and you have taken all your work for granted, and that is the reason no one is winning there. If you are not winning, try to have an honest conversation with your superior or someone that what is missing, what am I lacking. Maybe you will get a self reflection. What is something that can help you grow? That is really important. So, first of all, to begin with, if you are at a leadership position, try to incorporate these shifts. So, shift number one again, speak to lead, not to be liked. Shift number two, emotional control equals the executive presence. Shift number three, speak less but with weight. Whatever you're talking, it is making sense at least to you, right? And shift number four, ask better question. Shift number five, stop over explaining. So if any one of you would like to incorporate and see the wonderful results that you get if you talk your heart out in these meetings and start asking the right question and go in that meeting with intention, if you follow these steps, automatically you will see a great transformation in your career. Yes, Najma, any closing line?
Yes, yes. If you are at the stage where effort is high, but growth isn't. So this is exactly the gap we work on. So if you are someone who are at authoritative position but lack the direction, and you see that your career is going nowhere from the past 3 to 4 years, and with the inclusion of AI now, there is all the more threat for every other job. So if you are facing such issues, we can fill that gap. We can help you elevate your career through mindset transformation, and we will bring that mindset shift in you, that you are employable in the same organization or somewhere else. So firstly, we suggest that grow where you are planted. So what is the when was the last time that you invested in your own personal growth and learning? People have stopped investing in themselves, and they say that they are stagnant in their career. So this is tend to happen when you stop fueling your or channeling your thoughts or learning new things. How will you grow? So every day is a new learning, new growth. So if you want your career to grow, please invest in yourself. At least have 30 minutes every day, learn new things, build your LinkedIn profiling presence,
Yes.
improvise your presence on LinkedIn, and we will help you in all those areas, be it your interview, be it your resume optimization, be it your LinkedIn networking and LinkedIn optimization, and making your profile very strong, and as well as mindset transformation, seeing the opportunities which you think that doesn't exist. So we will help you in all these things. Get on a call with us, which is absolutely free clarity session. Come explain your career journey, and we will see how we can collaborate and help you grow in your career and build your success blueprint.
Yes. So people think that I have the right mindset. This is something that I want to highlight. People think that they have the right mindset, but you have a brain which is not yet explored. So all those connections, all those people are right there in your either your phone book or on your LinkedIn, but you are not able to create that networking. We help you learn how to create content, to create your visibility, to create your positioning. At the same time, how to network with the right set of people who can become your flag bearers. So it is really important, if you are a leader and if you're not seeing some sort of shift every 3 years, 5 years in your career, then that is called stagnancy. You are becoming stagnant. So stop sulking in your own mediocrity and reach out to someone or the other, and definitely to people who have been there, done that, not to laymen's who have never been at a place where you want to reach. Yes.
Yes.
So having said that,
So
yes, Najma.
yes, yes. So yes, we will help you from communication skills to power positioning in every other aspect of your career, where you are building your influence, you're building your visibility, and as well as the decision making power. So it is a holistic approach where our clients have got immense clarity, and they are already on that path of transformation, and people have benefited in multiple ways than they have ever thought of. So someone is thriving in their career and as well as started a side hustle. One person is already, on the path to get jobs. So if they come with so much of stagnancy that they cannot see the path ahead, we as coaches can easily chalk out a plan where we are helping them to first think that they can be employable, and then lay out a series of questions where they understand themselves more better, and then they derive their own 2.0 version, where they go and present in a much better way in their interviews, and they crack the deal and they get that offer
Yes.
letters.
Okay,
Yes.
so thank you everyone for joining either from LinkedIn or from YouTube. We are coming every Tuesdays and Fridays, 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. If you want us to talk about or highlight any particular topic, then we can take it up in our next sessions. Please reach out on LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever we are there on all the social media. And thank you so much for joining today. Najma, thank you so much for being a wonderful co-host. Take care.
Yes.
Stay
Thank you.
blessed.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Jyoti. Thank you for the brilliant opportunity. And to all the audience here, thank you so much. Please learn, please elevate, and stay blessed.